Good morning, everyone, or afternoon now, I think it is, isn't it? I've got some good news for you now. I've also got some bad news. The good news is I am the last PowerPoint presenter of the day. Excellent. Too soon. The bad news is I've got 120 slides and we're about 3 o'clock, okay. What I'm going to cover today is what my team means to you and how they support your business. But before we do, I'm going to ask, I've been asked many questions in operations, which confuses me a little bit. People seem to think that operations is some form of dark art. There's some odd things going on, and how do you pull together a program that makes operations work? You know, how does all the glue in the background stick? So all the efforts that you put into sales and the customer service comes through with, you know, integrating into the software, to linking into, you know, the handset arriving through replen, all that sort of thing. It must be really difficult. And I'm really confused with this because actually really very easy. So I don't understand why people find it so difficult. So I'm going to ask you a question. What is the best way to find out how to build an operations program? Anybody like hazard a guess?
Google it.
Google it?
Ask Ian.
Ask Ian, yeah, that sometimes works.
Jeeves.
Sorry?
Ask Jeeves.
Ask Jeeves? Yeah, well, it's actually really simple. The easiest way is to listen to you guys. You guys in the shops and retail know what's going on. So what we do our listening through a quarterly questionnaire. We send that out to our company stores, we send it out to our franchisee partners, and we ask you how we're getting on, what we're doing well, what we're not doing so well. You tell us. That affects our priorities, that builds our plan for the year. I told you it was simple. That was easy. It is an important part of a program that I call fit for purpose, because that's what operations has to be. And more importantly, we publish a summary of those results. And some people ask me, why do you do that? Well, relatively simple, really. Again, I'll repeat the word twice. But, you know, if we're doing good stuff, I want to celebrate that. Because if we are doing good stuff, we should be proud of we're doing good stuff, and we should tell you we're doing good. You know that anyway. But equally, if we're doing bad stuff, you're the ones that filled in the questionnaire. You're the ones that know we're poor there, so who are we trying to kid by hiding it? So I'm going to give you a demonstration of the results that we had last time. The good news is the quadrant top left, what do you think of Shebang overall, gets a nice solid green and a big tick in the box. You think we do a very good job. And that means we're in the right place. We should be standing here with the Purple Partnership launching a franchisee scheme, because we're doing a good job. However, you know, when you look at the rest of the ambers and the reds, and I can see some eagle-eyed people there focusing heavily as to what we're not so good at, to be honest, that's less of an issue, because it's all relative at the end of the day. For you, the franchisees that are current here, the next questionnaire is due to launch on the 23rd of May, so we'll be asking you questions for our next quarter, so you can see how well we've done at fixing some of these things. But it is all relative, because what have we been doing for the last 2 to 3 months since having these results? We've been working very hard at fixing these issues. And you'll tell us if you've been successful. It's very relative, because we're going to raise expectations. On the next questionnaire, you'll say, last time I answered this, you weren't quite so good on this one, but actually that looks a lot better these days. So you'll pick on something else. So some of the reds will turn green, some of the greens might turn amber, and so forth. But it doesn't matter, because at all times we're going to be raising the bar. It is a self-improving program. And for me, that's great news, because that's good job security. Introduce my team to you. I have a small but strong team to cover 100 plus shops, and importantly, to look after your needs. And in the next few slides, I'm going to take you through the three streams of operations, partner care and customer care and what they do. So operations. I deliberately put up this image of a jigsaw puzzle with one piece highlighted because for me that explains what operations is about. I mentioned earlier it's a sort of form of sticky glue or something, but it's what completes the picture. You guys do what you guys do best, which is sell products and provide the customer service. We need to make sure that dovetails into the systems and into the logistics programs in the back end to make it all work for you. And so that's where it's the final piece of the jigsaw. So I want to ask you all a question. Perhaps a show of hands might be an easy way to do this. How many of you have been involved in companies where they've launched a program or they've launched something and actually at the thick end of the shop it hasn't quite worked as well as it should have done? Show of hands? Yeah, a few? Excellent. I've been there too. It's no different. We all suffer from people wanting to rush things out quickly to hit a deadline and ignoring the retailer's needs to make sure it works first time. One of the things in operations that we have started and we are keen to deliver is that we make sure we're always testing and trialling things before they go to a national launch. We'll make sure they work first time when they hit when they land with you in the shops. Now, it's not always possible. There's always exceptions to the rule. If Network X comes to me and says we're doing a national launch on something on June the 1st, and by the way, you've got to change everything you've done because we turned everything on its head, I'm not going to go, sorry guys, talk to the hand here. I need to test you and get you working properly because guess what? Commercially, we'll be off the pace and our competitors will have an advantage over us. We will have to nationally launch. And there'll be a lot of cross fingers and everything else to make sure that works effectively. Yeah. But that, as I said, was the exception rather than the rule. We will ensure that it's fit for purpose when it lands with your shops. Another question then. How many of you in your roles have received communications that you sat there and thought, why have I received this communication? More importantly, what's the communication trying to tell me? And thirdly, what am I to do with it? Some nods of heads. Yeah, quite a few of you. I've been there too as well. Yeah, at the end of the day, you're there to run your business. Well, you can't, I should rightfully put, you can't afford to be wading through War and Peace to read some dodgy communication that we sent out to you. Yeah. What we will arm you with is simple and effective communications that gets to the point, explains why you've got it, what you have to do on one page. Sorry, I don't believe in War and Peace. It was a boring book when I started the first page and I don't ever think I got to the second page. Last thing on this slide that I want to mention is risk management. Risk management can get misunderstood. To some people, risk management is my opportunity to be PC plod and find interesting ways to try and catch you out about what you're not doing in the right order for your business. Well, it does sound interesting, and perhaps I won't talk about my weekend. But here, this is our opportunity to protect, improve or support your business. And how do we do this? We do this by ensuring that you are minimising the impact of any potential threat against your business. Fraud management is a classic example. If you get fraud, that hits your bottom line. That loses your GP if you get clawed back. It's much, much better that my team are identifying if you're not following the processes that we've devised to minimise that fraud. You would appreciate me telling you that if it adds more GP to your business bottom line. And that's what we're there to do, to support your business, not act as PC plod. Partner care. This is a team that's highly rated by our existing franchisee partners. The last survey result said they do a cracking job and they really appreciate, and it's above average. They effectively manage our stock control and range management for us, ensure your weekly shop replenishments come to you on time, and the weekly courtesy calls are made to take the pain away from you. They manage that so you can carry on managing your business. Customer care. Our customer care team are there to support you. Not only do they call every single customer to get feedback for you on what they thought of your sales process or whatever else it is that we ask them to ask questions, they're also to help you when you do get issues. There's always bound to be a time when someone didn't quite hear what you said and assumed you said the opposite. They're a great early warning system for us, and I say for us, for protecting our brand, protecting quality for both you and us. And as Neil mentioned earlier in his presentation, the networks like that quality thing too. So it's not a surprise, the networks are interested in that part too. And that helps us commercially. So, I'm going to hope this works last time. Last time it was sticky trigger and we only get the question coming up. But I'd like to ask the audience here what you think the percentage of customers that have shopped from Go Mobile shops, what percentage of them have said they'll buy from Go Mobile again? Would you like to shout some numbers out? 90? 95? 80? 75? I used to work for a very large national corporate that if you get to 95%, you're doing a good job. And that's a target for a lot of big national companies. That is an impressive number. Okay, that was last month. Who cares about last month? Well, since we've been doing these stats since September last year, we've never seen that number below 97%. So we're really, really proud that we're delivering top quality customers. And
I came in when I was due for upgrade. Was shown around what I came in when I was due for upgrade. I came in when I was due for upgrade.
Your next set of results for last month, by the way, guys, existing franchisees.
I came in when I was due for upgrade.
But what's great about that for the new franchisees or potential new franchisees in this room? Well, why this is important is if you're going to buy a shop from us, you're already buying into a customer base that already has said they're going to shop time and time and time again from you. So your job's made a lot easier. You're buying into a brand where the customers will walk back into your shops. If you're bringing a shop to us, it's still valuable too, because we've got tens of thousands of customers out there at 98% that are acting as mini ambassadors for our business. They will be telling their family and friends that we are a good company, that we are worth investing in, we're worth shopping with. Now, I can just say that. I can just make that up. But in a minute, we're going to hear from some of those customers and what they say, so you can see it demonstrated. Finally, what have I been doing? Well, I've been doing the new shop and refit management, all based on sound customer research as to what's required. So that sounds great. I'm going to give you some stats now to prove that it works. And in the first 2 pilot stores that we delivered, sales went up on an average of 43%. Show of hands again, and last question, I promise you. Show of hands. Who thinks 43% is impressive? Excellent. Majority of you. I'm going to do better than that. I'm Dale Boy. I've got my 3-wheel van out the front. I'm going to do better than that. About 6 to 8 weeks ago, one of our franchisee partners brought across 2 shops that he had with another scheme under our brand. Okay? 2 weeks ago, we've refitted one of his shops. Last week, he achieved a 133% increase in sales. So for me, that's a strong recommendation not only based on his experience in Go Mobile, but also on other equipment elsewhere, about the value of that. But I did say earlier I was going to show you some customer things, so don't take my word for it. Let's hear from customers.